Alright, so what's up guys? How's it going? So today I just thought I'd kind of go over basically what essence stones are and kind of briefly explain this to people that I guess are completely unaware of what the heck is going on in this game as far as heroes are concerned. So let me break it down to you. Okay, so you might notice that every single hero in the game, regardless of which hero you get, right, you can add gear to them, right? Obviously, there are varying qualities of gear out there. Now, you might be thinking, well, how do I acquire said gear? How do I accomplish said goal? How do I acquire these pieces of gear? Well, you can go into the arena, right? And every time you fight an arena, you're going to get a set amount of arena tokens. And depending on where you rank, you're going to get bonuses and ranking bonuses that are going to effectively allow you to go to the store. And you can buy said custom mythic hero gear chests when you get to a high enough level. And you buy those chests, and then you store your coins and you buy the next chest. And you just do this, rinse and repeat. You might be thinking, well, yeah, but why not buy some essence stones? Sure, you could, but that's also about the same amount of money it's going to cost you to get those mythic hero gear chests. So unless you're ranking number 1, you're probably not going to be there. So you might be thinking, well, why is it that somebody that has 16.7 million power, why is he 16.7 million power? Well, if you look at his defensive lineup, you'll actually see how this works. So you see how he's got every piece of gear, first being the exclusive gear, and the level being up to 10. The fact that their star level is maxed out, they're level 80. Any of the orange ones just means it's an SSR, legendary hero. Now you might be thinking, oh, hold on, I've never seen these heroes before. Well, if you haven't, relax. Okay, this is Gen 3, so what that means is that when you start out, you're going to have a set number of heroes. After a couple of months, you'll get a new set of heroes, and after a couple of months, you'll get another set of heroes, and the cycle just repeats and over and over and over. Each time getting worse and worse and worse. That is to say that the newest generation will always be stronger than the first. Now, what you'll notice is that when you look at the Guardian goggles, for example, is an infantry headpiece that is at level 11. You'd be thinking long and hard that level 11 is the essence stones that you use to upgrade said gear. And that has been upgraded 11 times to get to that level. And obviously, as you upgrade that piece of gear, it's going to increase the hero attack, the hero health, and the lethality. But are they all made equal? No. Some of them provide health. Others give defense. You'll notice that not all of them are made equal, but they are in some ways similar. That is to say, 2 pieces do the same thing, and other 2 pieces do the same thing. And you bring all of that together, and lo and behold, that is your team. Now, you might notice this guy got all of his gear up to level 10. Now, I say that's probably not a bad idea if you can afford it. The problem being, can you afford it? Because you might be thinking, okay, well, hold up. How expensive is that, actually? So I'm going to show you. If you go from like 8 to 9, for example, it's 90 essence stones. To just acquire, say, from the Wishful Emporium for $100, you can get exactly, get this, 360 total essence stones. And I've not seen very many offers where they're not around this amount. So when you're looking at this, you have to kind of keep in mind that about 100 stones is more or less about $100. And you're doing that at a single upgrade. And on the lower end of things, when let's say you're level 6, it's only 70. And so when you have like pieces that are starting at level 1, it's only 10 essences. And when you go from level 1 to 2, it's 20. And if you go from level 3 to that, it's 40, and so on. Okay, you kind of get the idea. Basically, the level is going to be indicative of the cost up until you get to level 6, where now all of a sudden now it's 10 more than the level. And if you go from, say, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, and so on, you get the idea, right? And so the cost is just going to incrementally get more expensive over time until you get to level 10. When you get to level 10, all of a sudden now it's 10 stones off of the level, but then you start having to use more mythic gear. And as you can see, it takes a level 1 gears, and it will, eventually use these as you upgrade, right? Now, of course, what happens if I go to level 2? Well, then it also increases the number of pieces of mythic gear you need and the number of essences. And then it goes to, say 12, and now you've got 3 and another 10 essences. And so you kind of get the idea. It gradually gets more and more and more. Now, of course, if you want to learn more about how many essences you need for like a full set, for example, and kind of get a breakdown of costs, you can look at the Whiteout Survival Discord for that information. There's actually a really nice guide that you can find there, and I highly recommend taking a look at that if you haven't already. But more or less, what you need to know as far as what heroes are going to need that gear, I'm of the opinion that you only need 3 sets. 1 for infantry, 1 for marksmen, and 1 for your lancers. The reason being is that it's more cost effective, I think, to be able to have a fully leveled up set of these than it is to have 4 or 5 or even 6 sets that are somewhat meagerly available. Imagine for a moment that guy had taken the level 10 set of essences that he had in the other 3 sets and just put it into 3. Well, then you'd have that much better of a set on 3 heroes. And from a PvP standpoint, that's more stats that you're adding to your health stat, your lethality stat, which ultimately is what matters anyway. So, with that all due, of course, I also mentioned that you also have the exclusive gear. Yes, you do have to buy these incrementally by the generation that you buy them from. That is to say that you have exclusive gear chests that are unique only to the generation that they were available for. And so upgrading these completely is not a cheap feat by any means. I would say roughly every hero is in some fashion at least over $100 to completely max out. And I don't care how many corners you cut. It's at least 100, if not more than that. It's probably more like 400 or 500 if you ask me personally, right? But aside from the costs and everything else, the main thing that you want to kind of think in line of is try to do these in tandem with events. Try to get your bonuses and anything you can grab freebie-wise from the events as you're doing these. And obviously, like right now, King of Ice Build's going on, and another, like almost a week or 2 from now, I know SPS Prep is immediately going to follow suit. Obviously, if you can get your medals, get them through Lucky Wheels, save your gems and spend them in Lucky Wheel, and then, just do your events. Of course, you got Crazy Joe and Bear Hunt, and I can go into those in detail if you'd like, but needless to say, that is today's video. Hopefully it was somewhat helpful for you, and I'll see you guys next time.